This is Keith Fraser. I'm with Chris Eubank Snr at the press conference for his boy Junior, who's fighting George Groves in February. Chris, great to see you again.
Thank you. Yes, that boy is now a man almost bigger than me. He's coming.
I have to say, this press conference said a lot of things to me. And one of the things that came out very strongly was your boy's self-belief. Now, of course, any professional athlete needs that. But he seemed so calm, so collected, and so self-assured. And his point about George Groves relying so heavily on his training team, do you think that that's going to play its part in the fight?
In his favour, most certainly. You know, relying on a trainer means it's like having your car on autopilot. It may be able to do wonderful things, but at this point in time, it's possibly better that you take control of the steering wheel and the accelerator and the brake. He's not going to be using the brake much, if you want to use that particular analogy. His acceleration is superior. You know, pain he's been taught to respect and even like. Really? Is that all you have? I've seen him take shots. And I've watched him take beatings when he was an amateur. 2011, I saw him take a beating from a heavyweight in Cuba. Okay, and so for me, the most important prerequisite to do with the fight art, the craft, you have to be able to take punishment that he can do. And I don't think he will be even capable of actually landing shots on Junior. Junior he's slick, he's wise, he's sensible, he's cautious, and he's fierce, and he's relentless. And that spells for an exciting fight, which he has proven all his career. He's an exciting fighter. Before long, they will all be clamoring to, well, they already are. The tickets sold out in 7 minutes. How do you like me now? How do you like me now?
Well, I hope I'm going to get to the fight, but maybe Chris will get me a ticket, who knows. But no, in all seriousness, I thought the self-belief part of that press conference said a lot, and to me made me think that gives Junior the edge. But you talked a lot about trainers having an influence in the corner. Many boxers in the past have been defeated and then blamed fractures, difficult energies, if you like, within the training camp. Would you say that you poo-pooed a little bit the influence of the trainer and the unity of a camp that George Groves was talking about earlier?
I can see that it could be said that I kind of rubbished it. No, I didn't. I didn't rubbish it. What I'm depending on is for him to know how to do what he does. You know, if you're asking me what you should do in a fight, then you're not prepared. And Junior is prepared. So, as I say, what I've done, I've been able to steer or build or instill in him a natural automatic navigation system, so he knows how to win. Okay, so the difference here is that I've trained him in a particular way. I have guided him in a particular way. Most fighters aren't guided that way. Why? Because they haven't been fighters. You know, as I say, they have been in the gym looking, and for them it's the game. For me, it's a way of life. The first thing is, are you hard enough? That's what you're dealing with Junior.
And it's a bit like a guitarist who practices in his living room but has never actually been in a band.
Okay.
Played live music.
Okay. It's a good analogy.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, moving forward, it seems like you've got Junior down as a clear winner, and then you've got the final. And it's a shame this is the semi-final, because a lot of people think this should be the final. You've got a tremendous array of great opponents out there. You know, you've got James DeGale, who wants to fight the winner of this series at super middleweight, and Junior, who comes from the middleweight division, maybe he's got unfinished business there. You've still got Treble G there, Billy Joe Saunders, unfinished business. Which division do you see Junior's future?
Right now, if he moved up to light heavy, he could beat all of those guys. Now, you may say, well, it's crap. He's talking crap. He's talking rubbish. He's just pumping up his boy. You can say that, okay? But I will stand by my word. One, at a super middleweight limit, rather than say talk, we're proving it now. Now, to go down to middleweight and fight Golovkin, Canelo, I wouldn't even mention the other guy. Why? Because he's not really a boxer. We'd prefer to actually fight for real. The tougher fight is his promoter. So we're not talking about the other guy. Junior's coming out of this tournament. Junior is a multi-millionaire in this next fight. Multi-millionaire. He hasn't done anything. He's playing games. Whatever the other guy's doing. Sorry, I don't recognize that. All his fans can recognize him. We don't. Okay? If he wants to actually come into the World Boxing Super Series, you know what? Get yourself ready. Someone may have a pullout. There may be a pullout. If there's a pullout, be ready. It's a lot of money because he's not making money anywhere else.
But there are some great bouts, aren't there, at middleweight? There's some tremendous big money fights there. Tremendous big money fights still at super middleweight. We've obviously got the one in February coming up. Again, where do you think the biggest fights are? Which division? The biggest fights?
The biggest fights are with Junior because he's the attraction. Just like I was, just like Mike Tyson was, just like right now AJ is. He is the attraction. So it doesn't matter who he fights. He's going to sell out stadiums.
And George Groves, I think it's pretty much common knowledge, or certainly the feeling of the boxing fan, that it is the biggest fight that Junior's had. Junior kind of almost dismissed any attributes that George Groves has. What attributes do you see in George Groves which he needs to be careful of?
Attributes that George has. Again, the attribute that I concentrate on is spirit. A lot of you fans, a lot of the fans out there, you're looking at the capabilities of the fighters. Just close your eyes to that and think about the spirit. Look at the eyes of George today. You can see a great deal in his eyes. You can see a great deal in the complexion of his skin. You can tell a great deal. And that's really why I am not. I'm not too concerned. Junior just has to get started. And when he does, it's at that point I say to the referees, look after my son, but so too look after the opponent of my son.
Well, I think we can read between the lines there, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I wish you and your boy the best of luck.
Thank you.